Hello, everyone. Welcome to the very first episode of Thee Audacity Podcast. I'm Rachel, and I'm joined today by my co-hosts, Heather and Haley, two really good friends of mine that I've known for years. I love you guys. We're so grateful that you found your way here. On this podcast, you can expect some absurd behavior, listener confessions, and audacious guests that we invite onto the hot seat to explore how they channel their boldness into success. No topic will be off limits and no risk too great. Well, ladies, welcome to the podcast.
Hey.
Thank you.
Hello.
Let's go.
How is everyone feeling after Thanksgiving?
Well, actually, here's the thing. Heather actually cooked me my entire Thanksgiving dinner.
Yeah.
Like the entire thing. I didn't cook a single thing.
It was lovely. We we learned that you can't actually fuck up baked brie.
What do you mean?
We tried our best.
We tried to cut a roll of brie, like a piece of brie cheese.
Mm-hmm.
Or
a wheel, if you will.
Yes, a wheel. Thank you.
You're welcome.
We covered it in dough. What was it?
Yeah. So Heather's
baked brie.
Heather's literal step brothers were making rolls for everyone. They were, I guess, biscuits, and they had leftover dough. So Heather was like, "Oh yeah, let's just roll it out and wrap up the brie." And we're like, "Okay."
It's like a little croissant.
Well, we did it, and then we spread fig jam over the top,
Fancy.
and then covered it, closed it, put it in the oven. But we put it in the oven for a little too long. We took it out. We put salt on it, a little bit of fresh rosemary, and it was still so good. So we're like, okay, burnt, not the right dough, too high,
You can't fuck up
too
cheese.
long, and we still crushed it. It was so good.
We tried. We tried. So
That's
did
fun.
you guys get anything good for Black Friday? I feel like the boxes have been coming in.
Well, I worked, which was painful. But I did go ham on Amazon after I got really drunk on Thanksgiving and,
Yeah.
just retail therapy it up.
What did you get?
Honestly, nothing exciting, but it's very exciting for me. It was new bedding, new pillows.
New bedding is so key. I'm sorry to interrupt.
I love some new sheets.
Wait.
But that velvet comforter, it was just juicy.
Wow.
Mhm.
Wow.
Haley's bed is now blacked out, though. It looks like
Blacked
one of those matted G-Wagons. That's Haley's bed now.
Yes.
Okay.
So
Yeah.
if you want to come have a sleepover with us next time.
Rachel knows my bed all too well.
Yeah, I see what you're channeling over there, Haley.
I love Haley's bed so much that her pillows are so comfortable that I would ask her all the time, what are your pillows? What are your pillows? What are your pillows? To the point where she's like, oh no, I just got them on Amazon. I don't really know. I was on Amazon, looking around, trying to find, because there's a certain texture to the outside of the pillows, right? It's not just completely flat. So I was like, oh my God, I think I found them. These pillows with
She's like, this is the pattern that's pressed up against my face.
Yeah, I was like, I recognize it. I recognize the pattern.
Wait,
I got them for 20% off. Yeah, and they're here and they're great. They're excellent.
Oh, okay. You're gonna have to share.
I will have to, but I've slept on them for 3 nights now, and they're divine. They're really good.
Damn. Yeah, I feel like your bedding and just a comfortable mattress is so important, and people try and
100%.
cut corners on it. They're like, oh, $2,000 for a mattress. It's you do realize
that.
But I'm saying, you do realize that you use it every day.
No, every night.
No, and I'm getting old and I have back pain.
You preach, sister.
It's a real issue.
Okay, you guys, something that happened to me recently. Well, I was texting Haley, actually. I was having a bad day. I was kind of mean, but I spilled yet another full cup of coffee in my bed.
God, bad day.
Wait, this has happened more than once?
Yes. I can never get rid of my mattress. I have to keep it forever. I could never donate it or sell it. It would straight to a landfill because I've spilled so many full cups of coffee
They're like,
onto the mattress.
they're like, bed bugs.
Can you imagine every night trying to go to bed, but your mattress is just covered in caffeine? But I've been getting super into astrology.
Yes.
Like, that's my new hyperfixation, right? So, like, every morning I, like, sit down at my desk and I'm like, oh, I can, like, jump right into my emails, or I'm like, oh, I can just research about myself a little bit more. Which sounds like so narcissistic, but whatever I do. So
no, it's growth. It's growth.
Whatever, yeah. So, well, growth. Okay. I don't know if it's, like, I'm growing or if astrology is, like, enforcing or like reinforcing my like toxic traits. So you guys be the judge. Okay, so like yeah, I'm like, is my yeah, exactly. I'm like, oh, is this, do I need therapy? Like, is this something I should be in therapy for, or is this like fated into the stars, right? So I sit down the other day and I'm like, what's up like with my love life? Like, I'm gonna ask astrology, right? And so I like look it up, and so one of the things that I have is like Scorpio in my 7th house, which is like controls like love partners and like relationships or whatever, right? Right, exactly. So I only, whatever. Okay, so I'm like looking up like, what does this mean? And one of the things is like, okay, you need like really intense, passionate relationships. And I'm like, okay, well, this makes sense that I never feel fulfilled in a relationship unless we're like an unhealthy amount of obsessed with one another, right? Just like fully in. And the other part was that I'm like, okay, well, like what kind of partner should I be looking for right now? And it's like the people that I'm supposed to be with are people with power and influence.
But that's a Scorpio. Usually.
Okay, but like, I'm just like, okay, I thought that it was problematic that I was really attracted to men who are like, don't have many boundaries when it comes to intimacy, and who are like kind of maybe sociopathically like trying to be like winners, right? I don't know, like Haley will send me guys that she's talking to on Hinge or whatever, and I'll be like, oh yeah, like he's really pretty, but I'm like, does he have any aspirations to like lead a cult? Because that's what would get me going. Like, yeah.
Well, Shawn Mendes.
Speaking of,
that would get me going.
Did you see that?
No. What?
I just saw that on Instagram. Something about Shawn Mendes is in a cult.
Really?
Oh, well, in a cult is pussy behavior. Leading the cult.
No, I don't think.
Hey,
True.
this is
look into it.
My guy,
this is so funny. I have this like Instagram friend who's a comedian. He's so fabulous. He lives in New York. Anyways, I like just started commenting on all of his amazing content one day, and now we're actual friends. Yeah. And we started talking about starting a cult last night. He was like, tell me
guys, more. My people.
I
swear.
I'll join.
I was telling him, because he said cult, and I was like, let's call it commune. He's like, I'm writing, I'm listening.
Haley, what was that thing that you sent us? That girl with the face.
Yeah. So, Selling Sunset. You watched the season finale, or no, not the season finale. It was the reunion.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, the whole thing was Chrishell called out. I forget the other girl's name.
Which one? I didn't. No.
She called out. She didn't call her out. She called the. I forget her name. She's like the really
Mary?
Skinny. It wasn't
the
Mary.
tall blonde.
No, she's like the redhead. She was the first girl to ever date Jason.
Oh yeah.
She's newer. I can't think of her name.
Yes. The one who was like, who last season tried to be like, I'm gonna call my attorney.
Yeah, she's like, I accused her of doing drugs.
Yeah.
That girl.
Whoa. Okay.
It's a lot.
Heavy.
Anyways, so Chrishell at like a dinner was like yelling at her, and she's like, "Can you rearrange your face?" So at the reunion, whoever that, I don't know who the guy is.
Rearranging your face is such a wild way to say like about work. Like, you rearrange your face. Like, whoa.
You rearrange. Well, the whole point of it was she was trying to say like The girl
She did, though.
she basically was saying, like, I don't care about this show. I don't care about, like, my, like, 15 minutes of fame. Like, that's not why I'm here. Like, that's what the girl was saying. And then and basically Chrishell was lashing out, being like, yeah, you rearranged your whole face. Like, you did this and that and that. You clearly care about your, like, time on TV.
Yeah.
That was the point of it.
Got it.
Fast forward to the reunion. They bring this back up. Whoever, I don't know who the host is. It's not Andy Cohen that does it. It's some Australian guy, I think.
Okay.
And he's like, has anybody else here rearranged their face? And Brie goes,
wow.
Go off,
but
host.
like fucking proud. She's like, I have. And so, you know.
She has, though.
As you do. I was like, I thought about it later. I want to see.
Thumbs ablaze.
I want to see what I was like, let's just see. So I looked it up and I was like, damn. I was like, who the fuck is your doctor? Because it's good.
That. Yeah.
I mean,
she
for
is
like having work, like she looks pretty good.
she's okay, first of all, everyone wants to comment on her personal life and her
I feel bad for her.
decision making with her, Nick Cannon situation. Man, hop off.
Wait, Nick Cannon?
That's her baby daddy.
That's like, she's like baby mama number whatever. Okay, hop off. Okay.
Number 10, maybe?
Like, that's her choice.
Yeah.
I actually really like her. And who's your doctor? Because
yeah, you guys, I want to get a chin implant.
But it can.
I think it would look kind of cute.
I'm here for all the work. Like, that's fine. Do it.
Yeah.
I love that for you. But she looks like, just if you're going to do it right. Do it safe.
And also admit to it when you do it. Like, if you're going to be, like, in the limelight, like, whatever, don't deny it. Like, the other girl clearly was like, I haven't done anything.
So many women in this world who have also rearranged their face. It's, like, commonplace now to see someone who has gotten so much work, or maybe even not even work, because at these days you can get just, like, crazy amounts of filler and it will give you a whole new face, right?
Right.
But it's like, and people just deny that they've done anything. And it's like, we're not blind. We can tell that you got something significant. Like Kylie Jenner, right? Like, remember, that was almost like 10 years ago that she got a whole new face. She was like the first one to do it.
But remember, like, in hindsight, I'm just like, what a brilliant marketing campaign to have everyone be talking about your lips for like 5
and then
months.
take off.
And then to make the lip kit.
A la Kylie's lip kit. Like, when I saw that, I was like, you know what?
What do you think was behind that? I actually...
Please.
The lip kit or the lips?
The whole freaking thing,
Her mom?
Yes, that.
I also think that she saw all of her sisters getting aesthetic work, and she was like, me next, like, let's go.
Of course.
I don't necessarily think she went into it like, I'm gonna start a lipstick. I think she didn't know what else to fucking do. It was like, I'm mixing my lip.
I think she got a whole new face, and her mom was like, oh, everybody's talking about this, like, let's make a lipstick.
Well, because remember, she did that interview with, I think it was like Teen Vogue, and she was like, oh, the way I do it is I just overline my lips and then I mix these colors, and everyone was going to MAC to buy the lip liner and the
you couldn't get it. You couldn't get it.
And then I think that's where that came from. I don't think that they went into it like, let's get lip injections and then do that, No,
of course not. Of course not. But like, she got a whole new face. So weird. Like, okay, so there's not so many women, but like, there's such prominent women who are getting whole new faces and maintaining those whole new faces as they age. But then they're also having daughters, right? So it's like,
that's what I was gonna.
I think about this all the time, that it's like, what about, okay, maybe Kim Kardashian, who probably started out as the worst offender, who's now probably like the least worst offender. Like, there's women who have gone way crazier extremes, who are having children, having daughters specifically, who probably like look at their mother and they say, okay, like, my mother's so beautiful. And then they see like their own face and they wonder, okay, why don't I look like that? Like, I think that would be such a traumatic thing to go through as like a young girl without like realizing that it's fake. It's like a fake thing, like in a set. Well, it's real. It's real to everyone. It's real even to like the daughter, but without realizing that it's something that like adults do.
So I have 2 daughters, and I think about that conversation at that point in time where you have to come clean with your daughters, or your daughters are going to see old photos of you or old videos. And it's like, what do you tell them? And what is the conversation around your reasoning? If you have
forgetting the work, right?
Yeah,
like,
right.
you're like, how do you explain to your
Forgetting the work
kid, like, I
to
wanted
a young girl who's going through
Yeah.
adolescence, who probably, I mean, we know more so than ever nowadays, young girls are judging themselves. I mean, everyone is judging their bodies, what they say, just everything.
Yeah.
It's just relentless, right? Like when we were growing up, you could go to school and get bullied and go home, and hopefully you had some sort of reprieve. Now it's like you go home and you have everyone on Snapchat and TikTok and Instagram, and you have these little dickheads in your DMs and group chats and removing kids from the group chat, and just it doesn't ever end. And so when you have this, 11, 12, 13-year-old young girl going through this, and she's like, well, like, why don't I look like you? Like, what is that conversation like? How do you have, as a mother of two, I'm all for women doing all the things. Like, do all the things. I'll be the last one to ever hate on anyone's work that they get done. I just think about, if you have children, you're responsible for those children and their mental health and their well-being and the way that they perceive themselves. And that's just, I don't know, like, what does that conversation look like?
Yeah.
Well, it's scary too, because like social media, they're exposed to so much more so quicker. Yeah. And even with like makeup though, like I feel like you see young girls with these long nails that I'm just like, oh my God, like, you know what I mean though? Like you see like 12-year-olds with these long nails, and I'm like,
dude, I even saw this thing on TikTok the other day, or like maybe even yesterday, where it was a dermatologist or someone who was like stitching a different video, where it was a very young girl, like 9 years old, who had a full cabinet area full of like drunk elephant and like all these skincare items that are meant for adults. Like they're meant for older women. And, I remember being 9 years old, and like, I'm pretty sure my parents had to force me to wash my face. They're like, no, like, you're getting acne. Like, you need to.
Legitimately,
Neutrogena, like,
I legitimately have a 9-year-old.
Yeah,
and
oh my God, you do, yes.
Yeah, like, I mean, a 9-year-old little boy, so say less about having them, get in the shower. But, but like, my 6-year-old Liv, who's almost 7, like, she's like barely into, like, it was just Halloween, and she's like, yeah, Mom, can you spray more of that glitter spray in my hair and like that sparkly lip gloss? I can't imagine. Like, why does your 9-year-old have drunk elephant and like all of these beauty products? Like, what is why?
I think it's they're just exposed to it too quickly, and there's too much talk about like prevention. Like,
I'm okay with preventative though. Like, here's what I think. I don't actually give a fuck what your 9-year-old think. Yeah. You are her parent. 9, you're 9. You don't know what to think. Yeah, here's your mini fridge and your beauty cabinet.
Yeah, like, how are you affording it? Like, the parents are the ones buying it.
But like, what is your mental to be like?
Yeah,
like, that is so concerning to me.
That is.
I saw this thing the other day that was like, people always want to say it's so much worse now than it was, and it's worse. But I think that people are scared to parent. I understand not wanting to always, be at war with your kids. I understand wanting to just have easy moments and to love on your children. But like, the goal needs to be to raise an adult. And like, you aren't always going to be your kid's best friend. It's just, at what point, and I'm at that phase right now with my oldest, with like the cell phone and at what point have people, like, when did you lose your mind as an adult to be like, well, my kid knows best because I want to be his friend?
Do you guys, well, okay, so I commented on something on TikTok. Obviously, I'm not a mother, or not obviously for people who don't know that I don't have any kids, but I saw this video on TikTok and it was this kid like spreading hummus all over his body and like literally everywhere, right? And the mom comes up from behind him and is like, "Oh, honey, if we want to do that, we do it outside." And I commented, and I don't know if you guys are on TikTok, but there's been a lot of teachers that are just like, these kids are fucking feral, right? They don't know how to do anything. Like, this is bad. Like, they should be like 4 grades lower, basically, right? So I comment on this kid with the hummus everywhere. Oh, I'm starting to understand the other videos from the teachers now. Like, because like if I was 4 and I was rubbing hummus everywhere, my parents would be like, "Are you fucking kidding me?" Like, not like, "Oh yeah, like rub the hummus everywhere," but like just do it outside where I don't have to clean up the mess.
In a safe space.
Yeah, like I'm like, what? That's like a good question though. Is, you know, we want to gentle parent and do all these things and make sure that kids like feel safe or whatever, but also you forget that that kid at some point is going to have to join society, right? And show up and like have like some level of decorum.
And like going back to like gentle parenting, like
yeah,
I am all for communicating. I want my children to know that they can have open lines of communication. And I'm not just going to be like, "Go to your fucking room." I'm going to be like, "Yo, listen, like this isn't it. This is why it's not it. This behavior is going to hurt you. You're the only one that's going to suffer. And so this is what we're doing." Like, that's great. Like, and now you're going to be reprimanded. To me, that's gentle parenting. I'm telling you what you did wrong. I'm helping you create, you know, to change a behavior and understand that there are consequences for that, because one day these shit decisions now that don't really matter will be big shit decisions that will absolutely affect your life. Like, there's gentle parenting and communicating, and then there's just like fucking rub hummus on yourself. I think kids should absolutely be able to be kids and be weird and get their weird out and explore. And some kids have like super sensory issues, or not issues, but like go through those phases. But yeah, back to gentle parenting and just like a lack of parenting. I think that's like really what this conversation is about. Like, people need to wake the fuck up.
Okay. Switching into the advice part of this podcast. Do you like that hard pivot?
Yeah, thank you for that.
Yeah. Okay, so listener, if you would like advice on any topic, or if you'd like to confess, you can go to our website.
Confess.
theaudacitypod.com, and using a pseudonym or no name whatsoever, you can write in for advice. Or you can write in a confession for one of our confessions only episodes, which are going to be spicy because some of them are going to be our own confessions.
Ooh.
Getting into our first piece of advice for today. Would you have children if you were in my situation? My husband and I are both 31 years old. We have been together for a total of 10 years, 5 as a married couple. I grew up in poverty. My parents were substance users, so I really don't have a financial support system to fall back on. My husband has always wanted children, while I have always been indifferent but open to the idea. I was very clear with my husband from the beginning that because of my upbringing, I will not have children if I can't afford to give them a good life. When we met, he was in school to be an engineer. He failed out of school and never took up a trade despite my encouraging him. I finished school and am now self-employed. My job is super flexible and pays well, but there are no benefits. My husband also works at an entry-level corporate job with no foreseeable upward mobility. I make substantially more money than him, but his job provides health insurance benefits. We struggle financially and have no extra support if either of us needs to take time off. If I can't work for whatever reason, like having a baby, we will not be able to afford to stay afloat. I was pregnant a few months back, but miscarried. My husband desperately wants a child, but I don't know if trying again is a good decision. My husband is now refusing to use condoms and is getting more pushy with his ones. I can't get him to do anything to contribute more to our financial situation. I've tried to find ways for me to provide more income. I really need him to step up before I would feel comfortable trying again. What would you do in this situation?
Not have kids.
Really?
No. You acknowledge that you can barely provide for the two of you.
Yeah.
Children are not cheap. If he's not willing to work and you already have free time because you don't have other lives dependent on you.
And you still can't do it.
Okay.
You
and
still
you
can't
still
make more.
are barely making ends meet. I understand wanting kids. I understand that. Kids are such a blessing. I'm so grateful for my children.
Yeah.
I, in no situation, circumstance whatsoever, would I I could never even, I don't even know what I would do now without all three of my children, as difficult as it is on some days. But no.
Yeah.
In short, let's just pretend that everything is great and they never get sick and they never want to have a hobby. It's still expensive.
Mm-hmm.
So what? You're going to have a kid who, like, I mean, just no. Absolutely not. So selfish. So selfish.
Yeah.
Fair.
No, I completely agree with that. That's
sorry. And if your husband is who is supposed to be an adult, gonna leave you because you don't want to bring children into a situation that you can't provide for them, and that is I'll be the first to say, maybe you need to exit that relationship.
Yeah.
And I know I'm going to get a lot of critics about that, but like, you go ahead and find someone else.
Yeah, to have children with, right?
Who are willing to put an innocent child through that bullshit.
Yeah.
Knowingly, because things happen.
Yeah.
But if you don't want to work, you don't want to get up off your ass and do more, and you don't even have a child, but you're going to come at me because I don't want to make our situation worse, man, there's the door.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, I don't have any children, so.
But that's okay. You don't have to have children to see the dysfunction.
But yeah,
you're an adult.
Yeah, I mean, look, I just feel like also there's so many people this day and age who A, want children, but B, like everybody is living paycheck to paycheck and like barely making it. So it's like, okay, well, you know, there's like some happy medium of like trusting that your future might get a little bit better, but it's
of course.
Yeah.
But understand that
she doesn't seem like she has much hope in their future getting better, though, is the thing.
Right. And if you can't, my biggest thing is that this person, the husband, isn't willing to do more now.
Yeah.
With extra time.
Yeah.
I know I've said a lot, but that is just.
You're the only one that has kids, so I think that your opinion here is the only one that's valid.
No, it's not that because you guys are adults too. You know how hard it is.
Well, there's a reason why I don't have any children.
Having a dog was enough for me. Like, my friend just had a baby, and like, she's so overwhelmed, and like, that is her full-time job now, where it's like,
yeah,
I can't imagine being in a relationship where if I was still in the position I am now, where I'm basically just taking care of myself, and now I have another human being to take care of, with a relationship that's already doesn't really seem super secure or like stable, I guess. That's such a scary thought to me.
Bad idea.
Yeah. I would not do it.
Yeah. What's next?
Okay. Go, Haley, because I'm having a coughing attack.
Yeah, I was like, I'll go next, but it's going to require you guys to be honest about the work you've had. So.
Oh, yeah. Come at me.
Okay, perfect. Here we go.
Come at me.
Here we go. I have another one. All right, ladies. I'm considering getting lip and cheek filler for the first time. Have you had fillers and what was your experience? That's the subject. I can't believe I'm thinking about this. I'm fairly confident and I don't think I look, quote, old. I'm only 35. I have recently noticed that getting fillers is becoming more normalized. People see it as a beauty treatment and nothing more. Previously, I had thought it was obvious when people had filler, but I'm learning that a lot of people get it with a more natural look. Have you had fillers or would you consider getting them?
I have had lip filler done, I think like 3 times total.
Oh.
And I've had Botox twice. So Rachel was there the first time.
Yeah, me and Haley both at 35 years old, or I think I was 35 and you were 34,
Yeah, it was for my birthday.
got Botox for the first time. That was 1 year ago.
Yeah, and we were both like, why doesn't anyone talk about that? It feels like somebody just like put like duct tape on your forehead.
No one talks about what it feels like to have Botox. It feels like someone just put a piece of tape inside your forehead and was like, good luck.
Granted, we lived together at the time, so like we would every day we were like, do you feel that?
The thought of you two in the mirror together.
Yeah. It gets better. No, Heather, it gets better.
And twiddle. Do you feel that?
No,
does yours move anymore?
No, then like the following days after, we're like, this feels weird. And then Natalie was just like, that's normal. You get used to it. And I was like, why does no one talk about this?
I was like, get used to this. We were both like,
okay, so you've had your lips done 3 times. You've added like a little bit of top.
Yeah, there's still some
Botox.
Yeah.
But my last girl that I started going to in San Diego, I really like her. She's literally called like the natural injector, and she's so good at like the shape and like I like really appreciated that entire experience. Like she was great, but you have to be careful who you go to. I think that's like the key. Like do your research, like, and always start like less is more. Like I think the first time I ever did anything, I only put like the teeniest bit just to see like what it would look like because I didn't want to freak myself out. But and also like filler moves, and your body also can metabolize things in a different way. So like I know a lot of girls. These
I feel like my body only metabolizes my Botox and not my fat.
Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. But I know like a lot of girls who, I mean, granted they've gotten filler for like a long time, but you can start to tell like they have like bumpy looking lips and like.
Well, that's just like a bad. That's just like you just got to go to someone different. Okay, my turn.
Yeah,
I've been getting Botox for years.
Okay.
Yeah. Just like 1 year in.
I've got a lot of stressors in my life.
Yeah.
My 11s are fucking permanent. Like I permanently look at people like this. So I'm like, it's not great for business. It's not great for my everyday relationships. If I'm just walking around looking at you like, what the fuck are you talking about? So that was my instant, like, we gotta help myself.
Help that out.
But yeah, so mine's like, I've been doing Botox for years. I don't get a whole lot, but I always do my 11s. I stay pretty consistent with my 11s and my crow's feet. Are we just talking about like all work or like
no, like filler was like the big question.
Yeah, well, we can go there.
Yeah,
we can talk about
I obviously haven't done all of it.
Yeah, so I had my boobs done after I had my first child. But I feel like I went pretty natural. They actually used to be much bigger. I had a breast cancer scare, and they had to remove about a triple lumpectomy, and they had to remove a bunch of breast tissue around the masses. So I feel like they are smaller. So I feel like they're pretty. They suit me. They suit me.
Yeah. I don't think they look crazy.
Had that, all for it. Like I'll be the last one to sit and harp on anyone or why'd you do this or why'd you do that. What else have I had? I've had my lips done once. I just didn't really feel like it did much for me. It like made them hard, and I just wasn't, for me, it wasn't my thing, but I'm all for Botox. I'm all for, if you want to do something that makes you feel more confident, then do that.
I think enhance the version of yourself. Don't try to look like someone else. I think that's like
well, okay. So I've never had my lips done, but now that I'm looking at myself in the mirror,
stop it. You're perfect.
No,
you don't really do it.
But I did get filler like a month and a half ago. I texted.
Oh, I've had PRP.
Oh, the eye.
Yeah. I did PRP, but it's like your own blood.
Yeah. Before I got filler, like a couple months ago, I did 6 months ago. I did a PRP under eye treatment. And it was like $700, and you have to do like 3 or 4 of them to like really start to see an effect. And at that point, after like the first one and it wore off like very quickly, it's like, well, fuck it. I might as well just go do filler at this rate, right? So I go to do the filler, which is like, I just got it in this like under eye, like cheek area. I've gotten Botox into my forehead 3 times. This is my first time ever getting filler. And bless his heart, this man, Dr. Rami Adelina in the Castro, thank you for being so great. He like starts doing the
Hey,
injections.
partnerships, welcome.
Yeah, no. But like he starts doing the injections, right? And he's like, okay, well, I have to go like along the bone. And like I start like sweating profusely. Like I also, this was at like 2 p.m. I hadn't even eaten that day. I start to see like around my vision coming in like the darkness, and I was like, oh fuck, like I'm about to pass out, right? Like my blood sugar, yeah. So I was like,
Like the biggest puss.
yeah, no, 100%. So I'm like, hey, can you
Wait, were you numbed?
Topically, like a little bit of topical, but I'm like, hey sir, can you get the needle out of me, because there's like one of those cannulas or whatever that they have to use to get to the under eye, which it's not uncomfortable, like it hurts, like, right? So anyways, I was like, hey, I'm about to pass out, do you have any like sugar or anything, because I almost can't see. And so he like sends out his assistant, like, oh yeah, go get whatever, like a drink. And she comes back with a 0 sugar, like protein shake.
Oh.
No, like a protein shake. And I was like, that's not gonna work. I was like, I need sugar. I'm like literally like I was like this close to fainting, right? And so he's like, oh, I got it. And he comes back and he's like, brings me like these little homemade cookies to eat. And I was like, oh my gosh, thank you. Or they're like some sort of like pastry. And so I ate a couple of them, and we just sat there and I like dabbed my sweat. They like went and got me a towel because I was like dripping wet, like literally dripping wet. And then I was like, you know what? I'm ready to go. Like let's keep it going. Let's finish up, because one side's done. I was like, one side's done.
Like wait until I pass out and just do it then.
True.
No, but like I literally was like this close to fainting. Like I could see like a pinprick of light through my vision on each side, profusely sweating.
What was that like? Wait, hold on. Can we talk about that for a second?
The only other time that's happened to me, and the only reason why I know that the antidote to that is sugar, is when I was 12 years old and my mom took me to go get my belly button pierced.
My dad took me.
That's another topic.
And I was also that same day had not eaten or drinking like anything. Like literally we woke up and my mom was like, let's go get pierced. And I was like, sick.
Pamela Bonneau.
I was like, yeah, let's do it. And so we like went, and I obviously hadn't had any food because that's breakfast or lunch.
I actually remember this.
Yeah. And so they pierced my belly button, and I like get up to walk away, and I was like, oh.
You say you were 12?
Yeah, like literally.
Yeah. I've known Rachel since we were 12.
Well, what's crazier is my mom, I remember being like 7, and my mom got her belly button pierced. She was like, yeah, do you want to go do it? And I was like, yeah, like I was a child. I was a baby. I was like, no. And then one day my mom was like, want a belly button piercing? I want to go get my tattoo touched up. And I was like, sick. Let's go.
Drives away in the Jag.
But no, I wasn't driving at that point.
No, not us, because that was Rachel and I used to steal her mom's Jag and underage before we could legally drive. Yeah, 100%. Anyways,
that was 14.
Story for a different time. But
that's the only other time that I almost passed out like that, and I was like, I knew it. I was like, oh god, we gotta get the sugar on board. Like it's bad.
I have a scary story about that actually,
what?
Which I'm kind of surprised that you don't know that.
What?
So Taylor actually told me this story back when I worked at LF, and it was like one of her clients' friends.
What?
Went to like the best doctor in Beverly Hills, right? Did this like under the filler, they hit a nerve and she went blind.
So that's
forever. Yeah.
No.
Yes.
Forever,
ever? It like punctured the nerve. Yeah. It punctured the nerve or whatever the fuck it did, and she went blind. And so ever since then, I've been like.
You didn't think about telling me that when I was like, hey, Haley, I'm going to go get under eye filler.
I don't want to scare you, because like, honestly,
like, you need this, bitch. I'm not telling you.
Because I'm sure it's more advanced now. Like, think about how long ago.
It was in the fine print.
In my head, I was like, oh, I'm sure it's better now, right? But when I heard that story, I was like, fuck, if I ever went under eye filler, I don't think I can do it. Leave it to Taylor to really just
Well, okay, at least
ruin
now,
that dream.
at least now they know that it doesn't dissolve like they thought it did. So
Right.
I won't need to like really get it touched up. I saw this thing on TikTok because that's all I do apparently, where it was like a plastic surgeon saying you don't want to get too much filler ever because it will fuck you up for a facelift in the future. And apparently same thing as those threads. Like it makes too much scar tissue.
Mm-mm.
Ooh, see, I've never had threads.
Me neither, but I
I'm
do
full.
think about it sometimes like in this
Oh yeah, this
picture.
part, like sometimes
Like, look, if we could just thread that.
you
that'd
can't.
be
You
cute.
could thread your ass. Do you know that? Like 20
What?
threads, 20 threads a cheek.
You do?
No, I wish.
Oh.
No, you
Are you
can't.
kidding?
How do you sit down?
Well, it's from the top. It's like a lift.
Oh, it's an ass lift.
Yeah, remember
I don't know if I.
Well, yeah, my problem
Good
is
luck with my. It would lift my skin. It'd be like be a skin lift.
Wow. I have to say something.
Yeah.
Rachel just said, she goes, all I do is TikTok. I literally went to Ocean Prime the other night.
Oh God! Oh no!
And there I was. With
Same story, different day.
these two random girls. There they are, and they're sitting 3 stools apart from each other.
Oh.
I ended up being like best friends with them by the end of the night, of course. But I sit down and like they are just clearly didn't know each other, so like that's why they were sitting so far apart, as I learned. But they were roasting men. Like it was the funniest thing. Like the two of them, one was like 50 something, the other one was like early 20s, and they're like talking about like all these dating stories, and I can't remember like what exactly they said, but there was something that like I just started dying laughing, and the other girl saw me laughing, and she's like, "Are you laughing at us?" And I was like, "Yes." I was like, "But only because I can relate."
Yeah.
And so we started I joined their conversation, and they start talking about like the dating apps and blah 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 whatever. So then I bring up the story that Rachel posted on TikTok, and the girl had seen it. She's like, I think I saw that on TikTok, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, yeah, she did post it on TikTok.
Yeah.
And she's like, oh my God, I saw that. And the other lady, she's like, I don't have TikTok. She's like, but I want to see it. And she was
Sometimes I like freak out about how many people, like 2.5 million people is. Like
That's a lot. That was like
a lot
hit.
of people.
When
That's
I showed them,
a lot of people.
Yeah, it was like 2.6 or something when I showed them, and like
it's a lot.
I remember,
you guys, that video on TikTok has over 7 years worth of watch time.
2 things. I remember waking up, or you being like, I posted about what happened, and waking up like the next morning and it being like 10,000 views, and be like, okay, pop off.
Like, okay.
And then like by the end of the day being like 50,000 views, and be like, oh, okay. So that's crazy, 2.6 million. But
wild.
Talking about 7 years worth of watch time, I just downloaded this app called Opal, and it tracks how much time you spend on your phone.
No, I don't want to know.
And not just like screen time. You guys, literally years.
Oh, no.
Years.
How many years?
Years.
Over what period of time? Like
it's projecting that over the course, if I were to obtain my viewing habits,
or like keep it consistent, right?
Yeah. Keep it consistent. Like I could be like in the teens, like years of my life.
Well, imagine the Gen Z.
No, I'm just as bad. I probably spend like 6 hours a day like doing stuff on my phone.
It's so dark.
It's like all I have is time, but what am I using it to do? Like,
so we think. But anyways, I don't know. Do it or don't.
I'm gonna don't, because
I don't know. I'm gonna do some soul searching, and then maybe if I become brave enough, I'll download it.
I think it's important to be aware of our vices. Speaking of, I wish that Instagram could like you could set a feature where like you couldn't post a story after a certain time.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Or if it's like you have to blow into like one of the like a blood alcohol thing. It's like,
Oh my God. Are you kidding me? FYI, if you want to know what's really going on in my life, check my fucking stories.
Like after like midnight. Yeah.
JK.
I've gotten better at that. I'm like, do I really need to post this? Like, do I really need to write people back?
No. Damn it, I can't believe I said that. No, it's really just like
or drunk hinging. Like
yeah. Oh, see, I don't have Hinge.
No, Heather's never had to use
I've never been on a dating
app. So lucky you, because I'm going to tell you it's grim. I just raised my age range to 50. So.
I'm proud of you.
Thank you. Actually, the men are.
She goes, I'm not looking for boys. I'm looking for men.
Are they minning?
Well, let's go. I mean, are they maybe going to lead a cult? They're more likely, maybe.
Shawn Mendes.
No, I'm going to find some nice salt and pepper beards, which is always a plus.
Mostly salt.
That's good. I'm here for it. I'm here for it. That's fine. Look at me. Okay. Look at me. You guys can't tell right now. I am salt and peppered.
No, actually, you're still mostly peppered.
No. That's all hair dye, sweetheart. I got married and I turned salty. Like it was like my mom's like, oh my God. My mom.
I know. Can you imagine what your mom says? Your mom must be like,
oh, well, my mom's not. And that's just it. She's like, oh my gosh, that's environmental. She's like, that is not genetic. Touche, sister. Touche.
Like, that's environmental. That's not genetic.
Yeah. She's like, you have to know my mom to really, but
that's rude.
I feel like
she's not wrong.
Absolutely be me if I have a daughter.
Yeah, she's like, because she's not great at all, and
I don't have any grace yet.
I'm like, I've been not. Okay, 25 is checks out. Okay,
but me and Haley are both like, we don't have any grace, but like collectively we have like 7 hairs. Like we're both balding.
We'll get to that later.
Yeah.
She's gonna put you on our hair supplement, guys. Just wait.
I was thinking about getting like this treatment for this area where like the front of my head.
Like
if
plugs?
You're just no, not plugs, but I mean maybe if the treatments don't work, then plugs eventually.
Not plugs, but maybe.
No,
I think I have like 6 years until I have to commit to the plugs. Okay,
isn't it called like PRP?
Yeah, it's like PRP, but they do other like serums in there.
We're calling everything PRP these days.
No, it is. They take your blood and then they do it into your scalp, and apparently it makes the hairs grow.
Salty Blonde, the Instagram influencer, has like a whole highlight about it.
Nice.
She's done it a bunch, and she's bleach. So
it's like, you guys look. No, well, if you're watching online.
Zoom in for us.
I'm telling you, mine's grown.
Let me do my comb over back.
Look at those power alleys.
Mine's grown in.
You bitch.
I couldn't help it. No, it's fine.
It's so bad. It's worse on this side. I did my good side.
I'm kidding. No.
Okay. Dude, one day when I'm begging you to come to Turkey with me to get plugs to hold my hand, you have to say yes.
I will. I'll be there.
I'll go too.
And we're gonna very chicly call it a hair transplant then as well. We're not gonna call it plugs. Thanks.
Okay, it's good. Listen, I'm all for it.
Guys, have any more advice, or should we move on to our top 8?
I think we should maybe move on. We've done a lot of.
Okay. We've got a lot to say about a lot.
Maybe we save these for the next round.
Yeah, and more advice coming next week, ladies and gentlemen. Okay, moving on to our top 8. This is a weekly segment where we're going to talk about the top 8 things that just really made us. Well, they made it to our top 8 of the week. Okay, yeah, so
it's good.
I'll go first. Mine. Okay, something that has really taken up so much of my life over the past 2 weeks are the everything bagel crackers from Trader Joe's, as well as the unexpected cheddar cheese spread. Okay. Like sometimes I won't even eat dinner. I'll just come home and like get the crackers and dip it in. And it's like a full, like, I don't even know if it qualifies as girl dinner because I don't think it's, unhinged enough, but it's so delicious.
Girl dinner.
Okay, next one. That's in my top 8. I didn't realize that this was a candle company. It's called Nette, I think. It's like Nette. I went into Sephora like 6 months ago and sprayed this perfume. It's called Coco Fleur. It's so good. It's like super floral, but it also smells like a little bit like vanilla. So I feel like it's good for people like me who don't like a very masculine. Like I like a very like floral scent, but that's not always good for the winter. So like this has like a lot of warm notes that I feel like are good for the winter.
So, I'm going to go on about my hair advice.
Our hair journey.
So, me and Rachel both have thyroid, and we, well,
Thyroid
actually,
problems.
Rachel went down a very deep rabbit hole.
Because I'm balding, you guys, like legitimately.
But we found this product, Zenagen, that is actually
so good.
This stuff has been the biggest game changer. Like, I have never seen regrowth. Like, how she's like, my hair has literally filled in that entire area from using the shampoo. You have to use it for like 5 minutes, but I have never seen like something work like that. Okay, step 2. My friend Maddie posts this stuff called Mielle.
Mielle?
Mielle. I'm looking at it right now. Actually, I'll just.
Is that the rosemary stuff?
Yes, this.
Yeah. Okay, if you're watching
This
live
stuff,
video on YouTube or Spotify.
but it's like a scalp treatment that you like put on your hair like the night before you are gonna wash it, and it's not like sticky or like gets all over like your pillowcase and stuff, but it's like the exact amount of diluted rosemary oil, I think it is. But I've known her for quite some time, and like her hair is insane, and she like swears by it. So she's also like has like a whole highlight on this stuff. And then third is my Supergoop Glowscreen, like sunscreen, but like a primer, like a little glowy, like just get it.
Okay, perfect.
I have 2.
Okay, what are they?
Okay, I kind of have 3, but
okay.
Okay. So the first one is the Dior Vernis nail color. It's new. It's shade 209, and it's like
209.
The perfect holiday shimmer, like kind of silvery. It's just perfect.
Wait, Dior what?
Dior
209.
209.
Okay, I'm looking it up. Nail polish. Mielle nail polish.
NIS. Yep.
Ooh, okay. Wait, if you can see.
Yeah.
Nope, no one. There we go. That's nice.
No, it's
cute.
Nice. It's nice.
That's really pretty. Okay. It's on sale at Macy's right now, everybody. $5 off.
Okay, and this one's kind of random. So I'm just gonna give you 3.
Okay, let's hear it.
I live in Arizona. It's dry. I feel like if I don't hydrate or if I'm drinking too much wine, which is per usual, just my skin gets funky. And so I'm always on the hunt for like good exfoliators. And so the one that I just like absolutely swear by, and it's not fancy. You can't buy it. Well, maybe you can't. You probably can't. You can't buy it at Sephora. It's just the SheaMoisture Coconut and Hibiscus Illuminator. And it is literally the best exfoliator. I use it all over my body. And not to be weird, but like my skin will feel like I'm a baby again.
Okay.
Yes, I'm here for it. It's
love it.
It's maybe $9. It's my best kept secret.
Oh.
And then this one I just have to put on for, I'm not even going to say, okay, so there's this thing called the Asian glow.
Yeah.
And what it really is, it really doesn't have anything to do with being Asian. It's an enzyme deficiency.
Okay.
Your body can't break down alcohol. So if you've ever been out with someone, or if you have a friend who all of a sudden starts drinking and they start getting like blotchy and red, and it's an enzyme deficiency. Your body can't break down alcohol fast enough.
Okay.
So if you suffer from this,
okay,
you can either not drink as much, but if that's not an option, you need to take
next
Pepcid. Plan B. Plan B is a plan A. In every sense, you need to take Pepcid AC.
Pepcid AC.
Pepcid AC is
That's
the
answer.
You take Pepcid AC before you go out. I know this because I suffer from this. I will, and it's not every time, but it's not cute. It's not fun. You can feel it.
Mhm.
Take one Pepcid AC before, and I promise you all of your problems will be solved. At least your skin problems.
Good to know.
But anyways,
Like-
Pepcid AC. If you
Okay.
experience,
Well, in our top 8 today is Pepcid AC. Okay, most audacious of the week.
oh, can't wait. You guys go first.
I'll go first. Okay.
Yes.
Because maybe you guys already know this, but I was this week years old when I learned that the president of France.
Oh yeah.
You already know this? He married his teacher, his like high school teacher. So when he was 15 years old, his art teacher, who's 25 years older than him, this woman Bridget, he like had a crush on her and they started hooking up when he was 15 and she was 39.
Respect.
Yeah. And then
the way this was handled.
She goes, respect.
No,
Okay.
but the way that this story is.
It's like he was a minor and she was 39. She was older than us, hooking up with like this. Could you imagine today hooking up with a minor? No, like a 15-year-old? Are you kidding me?
No.
Well, anyways, they like apparently were like falling in love. Who knows? And he got sent off to boarding school. Well, because his parents found out and sent him off to boarding school, which is like the only probably reasonable response except for like turning her over to authorities. And now today they're married. So she and he are winning for me most audacious of the week.
That story's actually crazy
It's
Could
kinda
you
crazy.
imagine? And her kids were his age. They
The
are his
reason
age.
I said respect.
They all went to the same school.
Because it was it was definitely handled like. I just saw this quote earlier. Oh, fuck, I like can't even think of what it was.
Nothing
but it was
like a quote for statutory rape.
no.
I just saw this quote that makes
No.
I'm just kidding.
You'll get it. Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get my phone open because my face.
Okay, I'll go.
Okay, go.
My audacity of the week is not a positive one.
Okay.
But P fucking Diddy.
Ooh.
The audacity. And like the videos that people are pulling up from like past interviews. And then I remember when we were going out, we probably were in high school, maybe even younger, when like it wasn't making the band. Maybe it was with that Aubrey O'Day.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, when I remember like watching her and being like, yes, like so hot, could like white girl, could dance, like could sing, like she was everything, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then to see her journey, and obviously she's gone through some things, and to try and kind of come out, but because maybe she didn't have a lot of respect in the industry or whatever happened, people just wanted to instantly be like, no, and not believe her and shut her down when she tried to tell her story and to be like, hey, listen, like there's some shit that happened and it wasn't okay. And everyone just like pushed it aside, all the while knowing that like he was sending Cassie away for 3 weeks to fucking Hawaii. So like no one could see how bad he beat her. Like, bro, you're trash.
Yeah.
Like I don't care. Like there's some things I know, opinions. People don't want to come after certain celebrities. Like I'll say it. That's trash.
Yeah.
The audacity, Diddy.
The audacity of Diddy.
Yeah. All right.
Okay, mine's much lighter.
Yeah, it doesn't have to do with people being sexually abusive to minors.
Good.
Perfect.
Mine's also like a friendly reminder because the people working during the holidays are audacious, and the people that they deal with, it's just like during this time, one can say it's very, very challenging, and I personally have experienced some very like aggressive people who just have zero respect for you, and just like you don't exist as a human to them. Like you are not your own person. You are simply a roadblock to what they want. And it's so frustrating right now to work in like, and I mean this in any industry, whether it's like retail or the grocery store,
air travel,
hotels,
hotels,
airlines,
everything. Like
the people doing your holiday parties, that you're like attending your corporate holiday parties.
People are doing their jobs, and just because you're not necessarily getting the answer or the deal that you want in that moment has nothing to do with them. They're doing their job, and I just feel just be kind. Like that's my only message, because I personally have been like, oh my God, like where do these people like find it okay to act like this? Like the holidays should be a time where the good comes out of you and you really see a nasty side of people. So
that's a good one.
Wow.
I like that. Be kind.
Yeah, I think that's a good note to end on. Be kind,
good
everyone.
Send off.
Thanks for joining us on this very first podcast of ours.
Yep.
I think what are you gonna say?
I was gonna say take
your what?
Take your immunity shots so you're not like me. Oh, you're sick. Be careful. Take care of yourself.
Heather's so sick.
I am, but
you're not like so sick, but you're sick.
Yeah, I did all the tests. It's not the COVID, but still coughing, right? Like people are like, oh, well, it's not COVID. You're fine. Well, like you don't want this, even though it's not COVID.
Yeah.
Like what's bronchitis?
Pneumonia.
It's not pneumonia.
So yeah, just like take care of yourself. Be kind. What else?
Live, laugh, love.
Live, laugh, love. We'll see you next week, everybody.
Ohio. Bye, guys. Have a good one.
Bye.